Grab a beer and pull up a chair. Welcome to the NorthwoodsBeerGuy podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NorthwoodsBeerGuy podcast. This is Mike, the NorthwoodsBeerGuy. And today, as you can hear, we are on location. I'm joined today by my lovely wife, Suzy.
Hello.
Suzy?
Hello, all.
We are actually in Destin, Florida, and we are at Beach Camp Brewery.
Camp Brewery.
It's a pretty cool place, actually. We should let everybody know this morning we thought we were going to beat the system, and we decided to walk the beach down here. It was only 2 point some miles. Little did we know that the beach and the way the road goes are two vastly different things, and we couldn't get there from where we were at. So
we had to succumb to the pains in our calves and
yes.
had to get an Uber.
Had to fall in and find the closest place that we could get an Uber at, and they brought us here. So
yeah, the beaches in Destin are amazing. The sand is like powder. It's so soft, and it's just very, very,
it's
very beautiful.
It's crazy because it's the sand itself. It's almost unwalkable, in my opinion. It's so soft that you can't.
You have to get down by the water where it's more hard, more.
But then you're dodging jellyfish and all that because they have like some kind of riptide.
Yeah, well, depending on which, the farther we walk, sometimes it was like red flag, and then it was like yellow flag, and that's like when the tide is really bad, you shouldn't swim. Yeah, and Mike's not a swimmer, so.
I had no business being that close to the water, and there was jellyfish trying to sting me, and I didn't want to get peed on or anything like that.
The jellyfish thing, we'll have to talk about that later. But this is a very, very cool place. We walked in, and the bartender, and what's your name? Mykala, right. Mykala, and she's from Hutchinson, Minnesota.
Originally,
yeah. And so is the CEO owner guy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So that's kind of a connection. Midwest roots.
Yeah, so
because Midwest people know how to make beer.
Yeah, and drink.
We know how to drink beer. Yeah, and drink beer. Mm-hmm, exactly.
All right. Well, hey, we might as well jump into one right away, and
you'll have to excuse me because I think I've got some kind of allergy going on, and my nose is running. So if I sound like I'm got COVID or something, I don't. It's just allergies.
Well, I was figuring you were going to leave me for dead on the beach anyway, because.
Well, you were. Oh my gosh! I was like,
hey, we've got almost 12,000 steps in already.
12,000? Do we?
Yeah, and like
seriously,
10,000 of them.
Well, my watch was like
we're on that
buzzing.
sandy beach that makes it be like 40,000 steps.
Well, my watch was buzzing, and I'm like, well, we can't have that many steps already. But man,
once we turned around trying to come back, that's when mine went. So
now we can have beer.
Now we can have beer because we worked off all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So the first one we're going to have is called Beach Camp Infinite Zest, and it's a cream ale. 5.2% ABV, 30 IBUs. And it says, this light and crisp cream ale hits all the right spots on the palate with a hint of lime.
With a hint of lime. Is this the one that's like almost like the Mexican lager?
I believe so.
Yeah. I like Mexican lager. I love Mexico.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
It smells good.
It's got. I get the lime for sure.
I could drink that all day.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely got that little bit of the citrus notes from the lime, so that's good.
Very, very good beer.
I mean, you can kind of smell it a little bit on the aroma, but it's not, super pronounced. But boy, on the taste, you sure can.
Yeah. So what's it called again?
It's number 6 here. It is the Beach Camp Infinite Zest.
Nice.
You don't happen to have a pen, do you?
A pen? Yeah. I absolutely do.
Because it'll be easier to. Because I'm getting credit for these. So.
Yeah. Do you think we can probably ask her if we could have that?
Or we could write. Well, yeah, if we can take that.
I do have a pen. There you go.
Awesome. Suzy, what do you think?
I love that beer. I really do. I love lagers. I love beer, but this is definitely something I could drink. It's a definite beach beer.
Yeah.
Like almost lawnmower beer, where you could almost. It's got really good flavor though.
The thing I do like about it is that lime gives it that little extra, not kick, but it's a little different than just your normal cream ale. Because a lot of cream ales, there's not a lot of flavor to them. Where this one, it's good.
Yep.
So again, from 0 to 5, what?
I'd give it a good 3.5.
You're saying the 3.5? Wow. Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy this as well. I think, like I said, that lime really kicks it up a notch from your normal cream ales. I'm going to go like a 3.2. I think it's, like you said, it's almost a lawnmower beer. Mm-hmm. And it is very cold, and it's good. I like it.
So we are in Destin. We woke up this morning, and it was actually 59?
50 something, yeah.
Yeah. So we're staying at a place, we can see the beach. They are under construction, so it's a little crazy, but...
Yeah, it's like the only place I've seen on the beach that's... Well, no, there's that one that on our 27-mile walk. There was a place that I don't know if they're just building it or what they're doing there.
Yeah,
they
I
were
think
doing
that's
something.
like a residential thing, though.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, all the other places, I don't see them grinding and hammering, but where we're at, it is. So.
It's a little, so like the outdoor pool where we're at is, you can't get there because it's like under construction. And, yeah.
Well, and I think part of that is because they have like scaffolding with this netting over it. I think some of it is to catch anything falling where they're
falling,
up above, because they're working right above there.
Yeah, for
so that's kind of a crazy thing. So, all right, I guess. So the first one was good. So the next one we have is their Beach Camp Stand-Up Pilsner.
Beach Camp Stand-Up Pilsner.
Nope, I read the wrong one. I'm sorry. This is the Beach Camp Amberjack.
Oh.
So this is a red ale, American Amber, 6.5% ABV, 27 IBUs. Their little description says, malty in your mouth, followed by a mildly bitter finish that we recommend pairing with our pulled pork sandwich. Ooh. Delicious.
So amber. So I love the color amber when we go traveling in the Caribbean. Amber, the stone is, it looks like the stone.
Yeah.
You know, very...
No, just let people know, we haven't ordered food here yet, but it looks like they have pretty good menu of stuff. I mean, it's pretty wild. So we're going to probably give that a try after we get done recording here and see how it is. But,
this is a good beer.
Amber. That's a good amber.
Amberjack, it's called?
Amberjack. I like it because it definitely has that malty taste and. So
do they call it an amber because of the color or the style?
Well, it's a style, but it's based on the color as well.
Okay.
You know, because like your like that cream ale is a lot lighter, look like more of a normal beer. Where you can see this one color-wise, it's definitely darker, but it's not as dark as a stout or anything like that.
Right.
So this is definitely that tannish or reddish. Tan kind of color. That's good. I like it. Like I said, I really do like more like maltier beers typically, but everybody knows I'll drink anything, but I don't know. I really like it. I think it's got a very good the initial taste. You get that maltiness, and then it does have a little bit of bitter.
I didn't really get a whole lot of bitter. At least it doesn't last.
No.
You know, it doesn't have like that aftertaste.
Yeah, so if you take another taste, initially you get that maltiness, and then when you swallow it, you do notice there's that little bit of
a little bit. Yeah. A little shot, but then it's gone right away. It's very smooth.
It doesn't linger.
Very good beer. Yeah. Very good beer.
Yep. I think it's really good. So, yeah, so far 2 for 2. I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
Some places you go, it's like, stuff. But man, I think the first 2 have been very good.
So tomorrow they're having a little fall barbecue party here. It's called Brews and Booze.
Yeah.
BOOS, not BOOZE. And Mykala said they're going to have like 7
breweries are going to be
here. Yeah.
So
and vendors, and they'll have games and stuff. So we might come back.
Have to check it out and see if BK, because we're actually meeting BK and his family down here, and they're meeting us tomorrow, so we'll have to mention it to them and see if they want to hang around for just a little bit, and we could stop over and check it out.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I do very much enjoy the look of this. It's not what I was expecting.
No. It's from the outside you can see like the brew tanks are like right facing the street. And
so their brew kettle is 20 barrel. Fermenters are 34 barrel. Well, number 1 is 34 barrel. Number 2 is 18 barrel.
Yeah.
Mash tun is 20 barrel. So it's a 20 barrel system.
Yeah.
So getting back to the amber, what are you thinking for the score?
Solid 3. I mean, not offensive at all.
Yep.
Would totally drink a whole one.
Oh yeah. I agree 100% with you. I think it's like a 3 all day long. Yeah. Like I said, I do enjoy the flavor of it, and like I said, it has that little bit of bitterness, but it's gone right away. So it was good. Yeah. All right. Well, the third one we have is number 3 here on their list, and this is their Beach Camp My Favorite Marzan.
Oh, Marzan. So that's like an Oktoberfest.
Yep.
Right.
So
seasonal beer.
Seasonal beer. It's Marzan, 5.9%, 10 IBUs, and it says brewed in March of 2023. And lagered until festival season the traditional way, light-bodied with hints of biscuit and caramel. Cheers and happy Oktoberfest.
I love October, except I don't like what comes after October as far as the weather goes.
That and, of course, the ladybugs.
Oh, my gosh.
So back home, they're starting to combine around us, and the ladybugs or Asian beetles, whatever you want to call it. What's the saying to me? But
ladybugs are good. Asian beetles are bad, and they
crazy.
stink.
Yeah.
And they make messes, and they're all over our house. So we bought this fixer-upper. I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And it just doesn't have very good... there was new windows, but they didn't put like window casings on it, and I don't know where they are coming in on that porch. But I work from home, so I can go out there 4 times a day and vacuum like thousands of ladybugs. And we even have Tim the exterminator come and spray for us.
And it works, but they still
come in, so and then they die, but then they die on your floor and they stink, and oh my gosh, my poor little vacuum cleaner.
Then the crazy part is our dog, apparently she hates any kind of insect that flies especially, so flies, ladybugs, and Asian beetle, any of that stuff, so she just goes crazy barking until you get the fly
She can hear them.
swatter.
It must be like that super sense hearing that they have. She can hear them, and she will stand up and bark until we take care of it.
And half the time I don't even see it until later, so. All right, well, let's get, so this Marzan, this is pretty dark in color for a Marzan. I'm kind of impressed. I don't, usually they're a little bit lighter than that. They're a little darker than that amber, but usually, this is pretty dark for that. Ooh, it's got a little different flavor to it.
The smell is, I'm trying to.
Usually, like with your Oktoberfest too, they don't really have a lot of aroma.
Oh, this is good though.
You definitely get the caramel.
This is really good though.
Yep.
But you're right. It almost looks like a porter or a stout or something.
It's getting closer to that.
Yeah.
To that, or like the Schwarzbier kind of color.
Did you say the ABV and everything?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's 5.9.
Oh, and compared to other Oktoberfests, are those similar, or
typically they're usually run between like 5.5 to 6.5 typically, but then we did have a couple of them. Jim and I did, where remember the one was like 12%.
An Oktoberfest?
An Oktoberfest.
Holy moly!
But that was like a barrel-aged Oktoberfest, and it was super strong bourbon. You couldn't really, and that was my only knock on that one is if you didn't tell me it was an Oktoberfest, I never would have thought it was an Oktoberfest. Now the other one was a 9.5, I believe. And that was by Founders. That was that ultimate Oktoberfest, and that's probably the best Oktoberfest.
So, from a color perspective, was that lighter than this?
A little bit, yeah. Like I said, this is one of the darkest ones I think I've ever seen. So it's kind of crazy.
It's a very beautiful color. It's like you said, it's kind of like a Diet Coke color almost.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little just that you can see through it a little bit more. And you hold it up to the light.
Actually, I have a Diet Coke and Tito's right next door, and it's actually darker than the Diet Coke.
Well, so you look at
a little bit. Yeah.
But like I said, you look through it, you can see it's got almost a reddish tinge
on the bottom. Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty wild. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the fact that this year we did, was it 3 episodes? I mean, we had over 30, I think we did over 30 Oktoberfest, or close to 30 Oktoberfest on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
And
it's only the middle of October.
Yeah. I mean, it's finally October. We started in August, our annual August-toberfest, we call it, because that's when we first started seeing them out.
Right.
So yeah, this one, it's good.
Oh, they have beers to go. You can get growlers.
Yeah.
And growlers.
Yeah. So for score-wise, I like this. I think it's pretty good. This does have a little bit different flavor than a lot of the, like up by us.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Solid beer, 2.8.
Yeah, I was going to say 2.7 in there, but I think it's good. I mean, you definitely get that caramel flavor. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So Beach Camp it's kind of got almost like a modern industrial feel in here too, though. It's black and gray, like some wood. It's a little eclectic.
Well, like I said, I was expecting it to be just total
like beachy
surfboard.
Oh,
there's one in here, but I was expecting it to be more just solid.
Isn't that like
beach, almost like a stand-up paddleboard or something?
Kind of thing, yeah.
But that's what I was figuring. You're going to see stuff like that and like a fake shark or something. But
it's very, very cool.
Yeah, this is really neat.
Mm-hmm. They do have other cocktails besides beer as well. They have wine, and as I said, I'm cleansing my palate with vodka because that's what good Midwest girls do.
That's what good Wisconsin people do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least it's that. It's not moonshine. We had an incident one time.
That was bad.
Yeah, a
I was
friend
just
of ours,
thinking about that the other day.
Actually, it was a brother-in-law of mine. We were doing a beer tasting for my birthday, and he was cleansing his palate in between with moonshine, and it didn't end well.
Well, your birthdays are kind of right together. His is before yours, remember? His is January as well.
Yep.
Yep.
It didn't end well. Well, I shouldn't say that. He was ready to go. He was full by the time that we were done.
Yep.
So, all right. So on this first one, so we got 2 flights, and the second one, I'm kind of interested. We kind of upped some of them, a little higher ABV on the second flight. So this is the last one in our first flight, and this is, I have to find it on there. Okay, this is their Beach Camp Freudian Slip. It's a Vienna lager, so it's going to have a little different flavor.
A Vienna.
Vienna, yep.
So Vienna, that reminds me of Vienna sausages in Colonel Morgan.
Well,
our friends Julie and Jim. Julie will remember Colonel Morgan. He always loved Vienna sausages.
Well,
Those
Jim
are bad.
being Jim, my co-host.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
this shouldn't taste like Vienna sausages.
Oh, good.
So it's
so one time Julie and I went into a Fast Eddie's, and I don't know if anybody has ever had to buy potted meat. It's like a little can, like from Hormel. And we were in there and we were like, what the heck is potted meat? And the guy that worked there, who's kind of a savant, he like pops up from behind the counter. He's like, it's partially hydrogenated beef tripe. And I'm like, oh my God, who knows that?
Beef tripe?
Yeah. And what is that? But that's what potted meat is. Partially hydrogenated beef tripe. He like memorized every ingredient of every little can of anything that was in Fast Eddie's.
I'm not getting into beef tripe. I think that's like part of the intestine or something.
Yeah,
so.
It's not good, whatever it is. So don't eat beef tripe. Don't eat potted meat. But Vienna sausages are good.
Yeah.
They're probably not lips and whatever, but...
well, if you've ever seen the movie Great Outdoors, you'll understand what we're talking about.
Our reference there.
So Vienna lager, 5.6% ABV, 50 IBUs. So it's going to be a little bit hoppier, but it's typically not.
I don't like hoppy.
It won't be very much though.
Okay.
It says this Vienna lager hits the palate nicely with a crisp finish. Hallertau Blanc, Saz, and Callista hops makes this a nice full-bodied lager that Sigmund would be proud.
Freud.
I'm not sure who Sigmund is, but
Freud.
Oh, Freudian
slip. Get it? That was a little.
For all us,
that was a little pun.
Yeah. All them nerds out there like me. Mm-hmm. It totally went over my head.
Not mine.
Well, you can smell the hops, but it's pretty faint. Oh yeah.
I can't smell. It doesn't smell that hoppy.
Very, very mellow.
Very mellow.
And on the taste, it's good. I mean, it definitely has a little bit of different flavor. Like most of your Vienna lagers, they have that little bit of a different flavor to them.
This isn't bad. It's not an offensive hoppiness.
No, not at all.
Like the IPAs.
Yep.
Yeah, this is very good. And very beautiful color.
Yes, it's a little bit darker than your normal Pilsners. Mm-hmm. Like that. It's kind of in line with if you had just a normal lager, but it's definitely...
it's not... it's darker than a Coors Light or a Miller Lite, obviously. Yeah.
Then your mass-produced ones, it's darker than that, but it's not, over-the-top dark or anything like that.
It's almost like the color of like a very beautiful sunflower.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I wasn't exactly sure where you were going with that, so I thought, oh boy. Now remember, this is a kids can listen to this too. So
yes, exactly.
No, that's good. Like I said, I think the first 4 so far have been very good. There's one on our second flight that it intrigues me a little bit.
Yes.
We'll see what it is. We're gonna get there. But this, like I said, this falls right in line with the other Vienna lagers that I've tasted. They did a good job.
I mean, out of the 4 that we've had, I think. Well, none of them have been bad. I think this is probably
I think any of the first 4, if you've never drank craft beer, you could drink any of those.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
None of them are offended. Yeah, I mean,
they're not super strong flavored or.
What did I give the last one? I would say it's 2.8.
You gave the last one a 2.8.
Yeah, I would probably do a 2.7. I mean, maybe a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna take another taste here. All of a sudden, I got quiet.
Yep. I have a little background noise. Sorry about that.
Well, our choices were we could have the music in the background for you to hear, or the traffic and the food truck generator outside. Yeah. So we decided the music was probably the better way to go.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
these are all really good beers. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you're liking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say this is. So you give this a 2.7?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I think compared to the other ones, I think I do like the taste of this as far as being a Vienna lager. It's just what it should be. Yeah, I'm gonna go a 2.8. I guess. Because like I said, I think it's very good flavor. It's got that little different to it. The hops, you really can't taste them that much. It's got, on the finish, it does have a little bit of a dryness, but it's not bad at all.
Yeah,
so,
it's good.
Suzy, out of the first 4, I guess, what was your favorite, do you think?
I think the first one was my favorite.
The first one, so that was the Infinite Zest.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yep. Yeah, I think I agree with you, that one. And then actually the second one, which we had, which was the Amberjack. I think those 2 are my top 2 of the first flight. But like I said, the thing that was really nice to me, if you've never drank craft beer, you could drink any of these and not be, you know what I mean, where they'd be like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. You know?
Right,
I mean,
like, how can you drink this?
Yeah,
kind
very
of thing.
smooth flavor, very mellow. I think anybody could have drank those. So, all right. So it's on to our second flight that we got. We did up, there's a few of them that are a little higher ABV. So we kept those together. So we'll do the same thing. We'll just kind of compare those 4 together. And then at the end,
so do 4 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the end, we'll just kind of give our overall thoughts on all of it together.
Oh, yeah. So these are higher. So these might not be as, yeah.
So the first one that we have is their Beach Camp Cart of Darkness.
Cart of Darkness.
And what could be bad with that? So this is a Schwarzbier.
Oh, okay.
So it's a German style, and
is that weedy then?
No. It's like basically it's kind of like a dark lager. It's going to be, on the other ones I've had before, it's going to be a little more malty, is what you're going to notice. You don't notice hops or...
So a Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier, it's along like I'm trying to think of how else to describe it. Well, you'll see when you taste it. But this is 5.5%, so it's not super high. 23 IBU, so it's really low on the hop. This is Beach Camp's first Schwarzbier, brings healthy dose of malts with a nutty finish.
Oh.
Okay, so if you remember when we were when we went to New Glarus, and then that next day we went to did some of those other ones.
the Madison one.
There was that one. I wish I could remember the name of the place, but they had the absolute best Schwarzbier I've ever had.
Was that the one downtown, or was that the one that was?
Well, because I'm trying to
when
remember
I met you Friday night.
No, it was downtown. It was on Saturday.
Oh,
it was one of the last places I think we went. On Saturday. It was kind of a smaller place. Anyway, they had a Schwarzbier that was just phenomenal. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh yeah, we'll just take a smell of that one.
Oh,
so you get that malty, more malty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't really get a nutty type smell, but you get that maltiness.
Right.
Oh yeah, I like that. And you almost notice.
That's really good.
It's on the verge of being like a porter flavor, but it's not quite that dark. You know what I mean? That's very good. I like that. That is
very good.
I like that.
Very good flavor. I love that. And all of the beers that we've had so far, they don't give you that like kick you in the back of the throat like aftertaste kind of thing. They've all been very, very smooth.
Yep. Now we haven't had an IPA yet, and I believe we do have one or two coming up. So we'll save our judgment for that. But boy, I tell you what, this is a very good Schwarzbier. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I've had several of them, and this is right up there for me. I mean, I just like that maltiness, very smooth. It's got good flavor. Yep. You can kind of taste that nut. Yeah, I said the aftertaste, you get kind of that nuttiness. Yep. It's really good. Yeah, I like that. What on a score? What are you thinking on that one? I'd do a 3 on that. You doing a 3? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to go like a 3.4. I think this is my favorite. Favorite so far? Of them so far. Wow, that's big for you. Yeah, like I said, I just really enjoy that maltiness up front. The smooth. It's everything that what I think a Schwarzbier should taste like. That's everything that I'm getting big time. Yeah. So I think they did a great job on that. And we have Led Zeppelin on the radio right now. Yes. So it was worth the 27-mile beach walk to get here? The jury's still out. I have to see if I can walk later. But right now, yeah, it was definitely worth it. It's beautiful in Destin. I mean, it is. I mean, the beaches are, it's not like, sometimes, I mean, we've traveled to different places, and sometimes when the tide comes in, there's a lot of like seaweed and, different, I mean, there isn't much of that. The only thing was the jellyfish. It was weird to me, if you noticed, there'd be like a little area of the beach where there's a lot. I mean, I'm sure people are like, that ain't bad. But there was a number of jellyfish. And then we went for quite a ways where there was nothing. And then all of a sudden you got into another area. where there were, where there was jellyfish, and it was like, and you would ask me, well, does that mean they're dead? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was just
when they like float up like that. Does that
it
mean
was
they're
really
dead?
kind of crazy. I don't know.
It's not like they looked like they were when they were on the beach.
Yeah.
They weren't moving.
No,
no,
and they were kind of dark. I don't know what kind they were or anything like that.
It wasn't like they were.
They weren't the Man of War, so that was
yeah,
good.
they weren't the translucent type.
No,
they were kind of like a
dark,
tannish, brownish.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. But and then when we were walking, I did notice that this little girl had 2 plastic green pails full of jellyfish.
Dead jellyfish.
We don't know if they're dead or not, but all
dead.
these jellyfish were in there, and there was one on the ground, and I'm like, I don't know if I'd be collecting the jellyfish, but
that was weird.
Right.
Yeah. So there was a lot of people walking the beach today, but it was funny because they were all like in sweatshirts and like hats and it's like 60 degrees and they're like in their parkas.
It was pretty funny because everybody, when they find out, well, where are you from? Oh, we're from Wisconsin. Oh, how's the weather up there? I said, well, when we left the house this morning to go to the airport, yesterday morning, the temperature was 29. Oh, and our first Uber driver said, oh, I thought it was terrible this morning when it was she said it was 49 or 59 or something, and we were 29, and it was like, oh yeah. So when we were walking, remember, we were sitting there and those people were bundled up, and I had looked at you and I had said, boy, if they don't have their winter blood yet. No. Because we always joke about your blood has to thicken up north in the cold, Yeah. So, but it was pretty crazy. I mean, it's, like I said, really neat place, the Destin is. I've never seen sand that. Like I said, last night when we got here, when we walked out there, I was like, is this sugar sand, quote unquote? That's what we always called it back home. But it's like, is this fracking sand or is it? I mean, it's so fine. Because we've been to the Caribbean a lot, and I've never seen sand like that. I mean, it's just.
Well, I think it must be this close because when we took our girls' trip to Floribama, it's the same kind of fine. Oh, there it was too, the same stuff? Okay. Yeah.
And like I said, when you're walking, I mean, it feels nice, don't get me wrong, but boy, every step, it's just like, you're sinking, and it was a workout.
You have to get closer to the water where the water kind of packed it down a little bit. It was easier to walk.
Yep. So it was neat, like I said, and the fact that we had the right intentions, but we didn't realize that the road kind of veered this way and that island went that way, and I'm like, we've been walking for an hour and we're farther away now and we're going the right direction.
Yeah. Well, like in Floribama, like there was all sorts of like restaurants and like pubs and different things right on the beach. And here it's like all hotels. Well, and so there's no, So
when our Uber guy picked us up and Suzy had mentioned that too, and he goes, on this island, there's nothing. There's no restaurants or anything. Yeah. So we're like, oh, okay. So then he brought us here, but it was like I said, it looked like it was just a straight shot, but we did not realize that the little island part is not part of 98.
Highway 98 is kind of the main thoroughfare that goes through from like the airport. We flew into Fort Walton Airport and then came through, I can't remember the name of the town.
Oh, there was a bunch of different little towns.
Oceala or Okeala or...
Yeah, I don't remember.
I can't remember how to say it.
Because then we were in
Our Uber driver, Shelley, was amazing, and she was like the best.
Shout out to Shelley, She told us about, last night we went to Beauchamp's.
Oh my gosh.
She said that's for seafood and all that. That's a great place. So we got Ubered from our hotel to there. It's a couple miles. So we went there and we had...
First we walked in and put our name in for a table, and it was going to be
we just asked how long it was.
Yeah, it was 3-hour wait.
And
we
this
got
was
there
at
at like
6:30-ish?
3 hours.
We're like,
Yeah. Like, well, can we just sit at the bar? And she's like, yeah, they'll serve at the bar. So we actually found it was like a
barrel.
A whiskey barrel. And there was 2 chairs. And then
so we sat there at first.
And then you went up to get a drink.
Ordered
and then there
drinks.
Was 2 chairs at the bar.
And then you walked up and you said, hey, there's 2 right here. So we sat there. Ended up sitting at the bar. Yeah. And then we ordered a dozen oysters Rockefeller.
Oh, which were
amazing. And then the other thing we ordered, it was called the original, but it was
snapper.
Okay.
And it was Beauchamp's original snapper, and it had snapper and
the bread was like mashed potatoes with
it had collard greens cooked in bacon and vinegar, kind of like a wilted lettuce salad that we would have back home. But
then they had those like little nut things were like sweet, and then they had the snapper, there was shrimp, there's crab. Oh my gosh.
We had one plate between the two
shared
of us,
that.
and it was so good. Oh my God.
It was
it's probably the best meal I've ever had. It was amazing.
I mean, it was
so good.
And I told you last night, I'm like, I'm really not a huge fish eater.
Oh, the grouper or the snapper didn't taste fishy at all.
No, halibut, not fishy at all. Like salmon. Every so often I don't mind salmon. Trout. I'm not a big trout guy, even though now we have a trout stream, but it's just that stronger flavor.
You haven't had good trout, though.
Well, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
That could be part of it. Mm-hmm. But, it was just, that meal was unbelievable. And then drinks, I had a couple, I think it was 2 local beers, I believe. And, and
then we ended the night with the Bushwhacker with a peanut butter whiskey floater. My favorite after dinner drink ever.
It was good. It was very good. Mm-hmm. Now, we did learn one thing, that if you have a 3-hour wait, you probably shouldn't have your entire big group sit at the bar, because the people that were sitting next to us,
who just happened to be from Wisconsin.
They just happened to be from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Once they finally said, "Oh, our table's ready," so the gentleman got his bar tab, and it was $477 just for the bar. Well, and now they did have some oysters. They did have oysters, but that's probably $25, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think they had 3 rounds of oysters. So.
Yeah. But still, okay, let's take $75 off. There's still $400 worth of booze.
Tab. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah.
So but it was a really cool place. And then we went outside, and they had like a huge screen out there with the baseball game on.
Yep, and they had an outdoor. They had 2 outdoor
multi-level
bars.
deck kind of thing.
Yeah, right on the water. And then we sat at the bar inside, which, had we known, we probably could have went outside.
Right. But we had no idea.
Yeah.
And it was like...
We might go back tonight.
We might do it again tonight, because that food was amazing.
So good.
And they do have a couple more, 2 or 3 more local beers that I'd like to try, just because odds are we're not going to be able to make it to, because I don't even know where some of those breweries are at.
Right.
But it was really good. I was impressed, and it was busy. It was very busy, but I give the waiters and the bartenders, they were great.
Yeah.
So all right. So the next one we have here, let's get back to the job at hand. This is the Beach Camp Harbor Bock.
Oh, this is a
Doppelbock, yes. And my brother brews an amazing Doppelbock, so I'm going to see how this compares to that.
And this is a heavy. This is
a 9.7% ABV. So this is definitely higher in alcohol. 14 IBUs, very low, which your Doppelbocks are, and for hop. Very low.
So if it's higher alcohol, it's probably sweeter?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
But it could be. But I will bet that it's going to be one of those where it's probably one of those sneaky 9.7s where you wouldn't guess that it was that high of alcohol. It's probably going to be just based on the other ones we've had that have been very smooth. I'll bet you they continue that. Let's see, their description says, a dark lager full of malty, chocolatey flavors with hints of dark fruit. Something to salute the beautiful harbor at night. Cheers.
Oh, so which we did
see last night.
Which
you can smell a little boozy to it, but it's not.
So last night I think was a full moon, and we witnessed it over the harbor. It was pretty incredible.
So it was funny when we left our house yesterday to go. We went to drop off our dog at our niece and nephew's house, and it was still dark, and the moon was out, and you had said, "Is that a full moon?" It's got to be close. I said, "So all the weirdos will be out." Well, then you had saw something today, or a friend. Was it a friend of ours?
Well, a coworker who has a wife that is a nurse. She ended up getting attacked by a patient yesterday, and she's like in the hospital, which is crazy. So
see, I tell you,
prayers go out to Matt's wife, my friend Matt.
Again. The full moon comes out and it drives people crazy.
Oh, it does. And I bartended for years, and I will attest to the fact that full moons are crazy for bartenders, emergency rooms, and just in general. Or if I also worked at like a convenience store, and that was horrible. The weirdos and the wackos just come out when it's full moon. I'm serious.
I know.
There's something in the whole lunar thing that affects people.
I know
and
people
it
have
affects
studied
animals
it.
too.
People have studied it, and they say there is a correlation. You know, so you need to try this. This
is the Doppelbock.
This is the Doppelbock 9.7.
It smells really good.
Does not taste like a 9.7.
Ooh, that's really good.
That would be one of them sneaky ones that you'd have a couple of them, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, "I'm drunk," you know, because it's like
that is really good.
Very good flavor.
Very,
I
very
like
good
that.
Beer.
Brian, you're going to have to see if you can up the ABV on yours a little bit, because this is like wow.
So maybe we could get a crowler of that to go.
Yeah, we'll have to ask her. We probably could.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you could have your own. We could have our own little beer tasting when we go to Pensacola.
Yeah.
We're meeting up with BK and the family and going over to Pensacola and spending some time in their VRBO with the pool.
And a tiki bar.
So we might have to bring some.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the flavor on this. This is, I think we may have a new leader in the clubhouse right now, because that does not drink like a 9.7.
No, that's...
You hear that, that's higher alcohol for sure, but it doesn't taste like it.
And again, the finish on it, there's no like crazy aftertaste or like punch you in the back of the throat kind of. Nope. Very, very good.
Very good. So what do you think on a score on that?
I'd give it a 3.5.
3.5, huh? Yeah. I might go a step up. I'm gonna go like a 3.6. Because I do think I like this. This is extremely good. I think they did an amazing job on this one. This is really, really good. And I don't know, it's got that, that same, almost the same color as that Schwarzbier, where it's that, you get like that mahogany.
Yeah, but it has
reddish.
that malt on the side of the glass. Like
right.
It's a little, I mean, it's just really, really good.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. Like I said, those last two, I think, are my top two right now. That Schwarzbier and this right there. So the next, well, we got a little bit of this one to finish, but I'm going to start talking about this next one because it's green.
It's green. The beer's green.
That's the only way you can describe it. Is it's green. So what could be bad?
Right.
It's green, and it's their
the name is
Ecto-Cooler.
Ecto-Cooler.
It's an Imperial IPA.
Okay.
So first off, Jim would be like,
it's an IPA, yeah.
Yeah, 9.7%.
Oh goodness.
40 IBUs. So
the reason it's green and the Ecto, like for those of you that
reference to Ghostbusters, all us cool kids know what that is.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that's
so
the one.
The reference to Ghostbusters, the Ecto, that's like the
ectoplasm.
That's
that was
the green slime stuff, right?
That's slime. It wasn't green. It was kind of clear, but then the Hearst, the car they drove around in, it was Ecto 1.
Oh, sure.
Was the name of that as well. And then of course then the Slimer was the green ghost that slimed them and such.
So Ghostbusters, I loved the original.
Yeah.
There was like who was the nerdy guy that was the
Harold Ramis?
No, the one that was with
the accountant?
Yeah.
That was Bob McKenzie Bob McKenzie. It was Rick Moranis.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was like probably one of my favorite movies with him in it. He's like, when he had the party. Yeah, when he had the party, and he's like, oh yeah, come on over.
Hey, who brought their dog?
Who brought their dog? Oh my gosh.
That's a little flashback to the 80s or whatever. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So when did that come out? 80?
It came out, I think it was 10 years before I was born. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Whatever.
The bartender doesn't even believe that. Dang it.
I do. Oh no, Ghostbusters, that was like the best. Yeah.
Well, and the second one was okay.
I mean, there's something
they've come
to
out
be
with
said
these...
when you still have people that make like Halloween costumes.
Yeah.
And they're still with valid,
their
Yeah.
I say the newer ones, the Ghostbusters they did with when it was the all ladies cast, it was okay.
Did we watch that?
I watched it. I'm not sure if you watched. Callie and I watched it. It was okay.
Yeah.
But then I have watched like the Afterlife, the two newest ones. It's kind of not the same.
I mean, it's just like watching Saturday Night Live now without like compared to when we watched it growing up.
On the one of them, Dan Aykroyd is in it, and so was Bill Murray, but Harold Ramis, he had passed away.
Right.
And so he,
who was the African American dude that was? Did he die too?
No, Ernie Hudson. No, he's in the one. He's the same one that
he was funny too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it was, that's good. But like I said, it's just different. Yeah. And the three of them together made that first one was just unbelievably. It's a classic.
Well, Bill Murray is just a treasure. I mean, you can't. I mean, well, we actually referenced him today in What About Bob?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we were sitting out on the little patio thing, looking out over the Gulf of Mexico, and the wind was blowing fairly well, and there's sailboats. Uh-huh. And when you came out, I said, I'm just looking at these sailboats going, what about Bob when they tied him to the mast? And he was out there, I'm sailing. I'm a sailor. I sail. And they had him tied up to the, and I was like, I could see somebody out there right now doing the same thing. So
I know.
All right. Well, hey, let's get into this green beer. So the details on it is 9.7 ABV, 40 IBUs. And it says, who are you going to call? New Zealand hops give the fruity style IPA the flavor we want with a beautiful green look.
It's green.
It's green.
It's totally green.
There's no question.
There's no
It's
question.
green.
It's green. Like Elf's elf costume green. Like his elf suit.
Oh, like for Christmas you're talking?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
The movie Elf. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very happy.
You can smell the hops.
Okay.
Oh, taste wise, you don't. The hops fall off. It's not real hoppy. You can kind of, how I would describe it, you can definitely you get that higher ABV flavor though. You know what I mean?
I typically do not like IPAs at all, and I could actually have another sip of that because I don't. That's probably one of the best IPAs I've ever had. I mean, honestly, because I don't. I mean, you know me. I'm like, ooh, you know. And I usually have if you tell me well, you don't even have to tell me because you can smell it, obviously. But no, I mean, really this is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I've talked about it several times on here. I took a year and I drank almost nothing but IPAs. I mean, as far as...
But that doesn't taste like an IPA.
No, I was going to say, because to begin with, of course, I was the stouts and all that.
Yeah, it's nice, it's good. It doesn't. I'm not a big IPA person,
it's not super bitter.
No,
I mean,
that is crazy.
Overly fruity. It's nice.
Yeah,
and
very,
it
very
taste
nice.
Like a 9.7.
No, not at all.
None of them have tasted like that.
Yeah,
that's the thing That's what I've been impressed with is they've been very mellow.
Yeah,
and the ones that are higher.
Yeah,
I'm impressed with our brewers too because sometimes different breweries are good at something, like IPAs or lagers, but I think we have a nice spread of a lot of different releases.
So how many brewers do you have?
We have 2.
You have 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Neither of them are here today. They should be at some point. Yeah. It'd be nice, if you could talk to them.
Well, that's okay. But
Will and Chaser are brewers, and they do a nice job.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our bartender that she recommended all these beers for us.
Yes, Mykala, yes.
Yes, Mykala, yes.
Very, very nice.
Thank you very much, Mykala.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed. This, like I said, the green catches you off guard a little bit at first, but it's like...
or hear, like, when Mykala was telling Mike when he was picking out the beers for the flights, and when she put it up here, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's green.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because if you've ever watched Alabama Boss on YouTube, he does craft beer reviews, and one of the very first ones he did, he had a beer that was pink or red.
Yeah.
And he started pouring. He goes, "Oh my God, it's pink!" So every time when Jim and I are doing something, or Brian, BK, Brian and I, when we're pouring, the first thing we say is, "Oh my God, it's whatever color." So this one, when I saw it, I said, "Oh my God, it's green." Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is good. I mean, you can smell the hops, but the flavor of it is very mellow.
Yeah.
And would this be one that if you've never drank a craft beer before, that I'd say you should start with this? Maybe not, just because it does have a little bit of a stronger flavor on the boozy side. I mean, not boozy, but I can tell anyway that it's a little higher ABV.
Right.
But the hop as far as hops go,
No, the
not at
hops
all.
you can't.
You can smell it, but they're on the flavor, it's not bad at all.
Right.
So what are you thinking for a score on that?
Oh, I do 2.5.
2.5. Okay.
Just because I'm
right,
not.
Because you're not an IPA person.
I'm not an IPA person,
Yep.
but I don't think I would ever rate any other IPA over a 1 because I just don't care for them at all. I mean, I'm not a fan of the hop, the grapefruity. I mean, it smells when you smell it. This one smells. I can smell the grapefruit a little bit, that hoppy, but you can't taste it at all.
Right.
I mean, there's not in the finish, not in the beginning.
This is one I think that Jim would even.
I think
because, like I said, you can smell it because we've had some others where you can smell it, but then when you taste it, you don't even taste the hops really. And this is one of those.
Yeah.
And at 9.7, it's you can't really. Like I said, I can tell it's a little higher ABV, but it's not a strong boozy flavor.
Right.
But it's still, you do get that little bit of a stronger thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So all right, I'm gonna go like a 3.1 actually.
Oh my goodness.
I do like this. I think I could definitely drink it. You wouldn't want too many of them.
Obviously, because it's
because of the
9.7.
ABV, but it's good. I like it. So we haven't hit a bad one yet. So we have one left.
One left. And is this an IPA as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Yep. This one is more of your kind of a normal. And this is one she was saying was one of their ones they're known for.
Oh, okay.
This is their Beach Camp Souvenir IPA.
Oh, okay.
It's an American IPA.
American, okay.
6.7%. So it's lower ABV. 58 IBUs. So the IBUs are up a little bit higher, but so we'll see. Let's see. Their description is Citra and Warrior hops in this Beach Camp flagship IPA, dry with a refreshing citrusy and fruity nose, smooth on the palate, bitter on the finish.
Ooh,
so
bitter
it's going to be
finish.
interesting to see.
Okay.
What did they say on the nose? It should have been fruity on the nose. Okay. I will let you taste that. You can want your honest opinion.
I can smell the grapefruit or the IPA, whatever.
That one, to me, the hoppy flavor is definitely stronger than the last. But
it's
Imperial.
Not bad.
It's
though.
not bad.
It's not like
you get
I got the bitter right now.
On the
back
finish,
end.
and then you get in a little bit. You're gonna get that dryness too.
Yeah.
Where it's
But it's good though. I mean, not like because honestly, I don't really care for IPAs. I'll be totally transparent. I do not. I'm not.
Well, IPAs and wheat beer are kind of your two.
Wheat. Wheat. I just hate the wheat. I hate the wheat. That again, that's a beer that I could drink like a whole one of. Not
this
like,
one?
Yeah. I mean, I could.
I'm surprised.
It's not bad. I think.
I thought personally the green one I thought was more where I could drink.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I could drink this one too though.
Yep.
I'm compared to like other IPAs that I've had in the past.
Yep.
This is not nearly as strong and bitter. Because I think of that like seriously like a punch in the mouth.
And I've brought this up on the podcast before when I was talking to Jim, but when the first time my brother came up to the Northwoods with us, I had bought a bottle and I apologize, I don't remember the brewer. The name of it was Devil Dog, and it was an IPA. The only reason and it was one of them big 22-ounce bomber bottles. The only reason I bought it was because it was 100 IBUs. And that's what I've asked Brian, my brother, before. I said, is there a max that you can have for IBUs? Because, this is 100. But I said, I could have sworn I saw one that said it was 102. And he said, yeah, you get some that are even higher like that. He goes, but he told me there's a mathematical equation to figure out your IBUs. It's like 6 miles long.
Right.
And it takes into account, the temperature of the beer.
The temperature.
The temperature.
That's what our daughter used to call it.
The middle name of the brewer, I think, is part of it. It's just a weird thing to figure out your IBUs. Or some breweries will have their own, like a chemistry lab where they test it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that Devil Dog, we cracked that bad boy open, had that little dog on the label. We poured, him and I each a taster glass. And I'm not sure if we even finished our taster glasses. It was like instant heartburn. And it was just, honestly, the hardest thing I've ever drank was that. And so it's just kind of crazy. So, I mean, this at 58 is nothing like that.
Right.
But it was like just a weird thing because, like I said, Jim and I have had other IPAs where the IBUs are really high and you drink it and you're like, well, there's nothing, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Then you get ones that are lower and you're like, holy cow, did they get this wrong or what?
Right.
So the IBU scale, I think, is kind of just an educated guess.
Right.
Is what I'm thinking. But, this one, like I said, to me is stronger than the last one for IBUs, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Jim would not like it.
You don't think so? I don't think it's
This
that
one
bad,
he would. The first one, the green one, he would have.
I mean, it's not something I drink a lot of,
Right.
but it's not super offensive.
No. So for a score, what do you think on this one? So you gave the last one a 2.5 on the green
I would
one.
say maybe like a 2.3.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one, I'm gonna go like a 2.5. I'm gonna say average. I do like it, but it definitely has a little bit stronger hop flavor to me. So of the ones that we tried, I mean, I think this one is. I don't know how to say it. It's just that hop flavor was kind of more in your face than especially than the green one. So that's kind of surprising. So on this flight here, so we had what did we have? We had the Schwarzbier. We had the
Doppelbock.
The Doppelbock. Then we had the green IPA and this one. What do you think?
I would have to say the Doppelbock was probably my favorite out of that. But honestly, there wasn't a bad beer in all eight that we did. They're very solid beers here. I just don't, not being that much into the IPAs and all of that. I mean, there was none of them here that I would be like, I can't, I don't want to drink that.
I think the strongest flavor-wise
was that last one.
Yep. That one I could see if somebody new to craft beer tried that one, I could see where they're like, because that was more hoppy flavor. The other ones, not at all.
Yeah, and the green one, kind of like just the fact that it was green, maybe kind of, would turn you off initially, but.
I mean, overall,
very, very good beers.
Overall, I think my favorite was the Doppelbock, and the Schwarzbier, I think, was second.
Yeah.
My third was that green one. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, they were very good.
Yeah, all very good beers.
All very good beers.
Amazing bartender. Mykala is awesome. And we're going to be having some dinner here soon. So
we're going to
have
some lunch. And hopefully there's another place real close to here. So hopefully we'll be able to do one from there as well. But I mean, I'm so glad that we came here and tried it. It was definitely, like I said, totally different look than I thought. I was expecting total beach bum, sand on the floor. You know what I mean? I mean, not sand on the floor, but you know what I mean. I was going to get that vibe, but it's not like that. It's a really cool thing. Huh. They got their merch over here on the wall.
We're going to check that out.
Yeah. But so hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. Suzy, thank you for agreeing to come to Beach Camp Brewing here in Destin, Florida. We're hoping to, like I said, hit maybe another one here, and then we're hoping we're going to do another one here in Destin, and then when BK and his family are going to here, we're going to do some from Pensacola, so that's going to be really cool. And
if we don't have time to do another on location, we will definitely talk about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yes. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and like we always say, I hope your campfire is always warm
and your beer is always cold.
See ya.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.